Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings. And blimey, isn't it hot today? Why have I therefore decided to lock myself in a very small room with no ventilation and a rig pumping out heat left, right, and centre? Well, it was Blackbushe Air Day today, and there was a Spitfire flying, and also the BBMF Lancaster was flying around. And I don't know about you, but quite often when I go somewhere like that and I see something like that, I want to fly in the sim. It's just like an itch you can't scratch. So I thought it'd be nice to do a live weather, live time flight up to Duxford. And originally I was going to go with the Spitfire, and I thought I'll do something a bit different. I've not flown the Hellcat in a long time, it's been mentioned a little bit on the Discord. And I thought, yeah, just give it a try. Certainly in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So we are taking this beautiful Hellcat, which is a wonderful big radial warbird. Great fun to fly, very purposeful, and I could do the practice. So what we're going to do, by the miracle of this. There we go. We are going to take off. And by the way, I'm on the Western Europe server and I've got multiplayer on. So if you fancy coming along, then feel free. So yeah, starting off here at Blackbushe, EGLK, my local. We're going to go up to White Waltham. My plan is thinking of doing a touch and go there. It's quite windy. You can see we've got 22 knots at the moment from 209. We're going to overfly Windsor Castle, just say hello there, and I've not seen Windsor Castle in 2024 either, so interested in that. We're going to go over Pinewood Studios over here because that's where I'll be appearing in my next film, and then we're going to go over the Warner Brothers Studios over here if you're a Harry Potter fan. Up this way, we're going to then overfly Nebworth House. I have a feeling that's just going to be Dunder Mifflin in the sim, but it seemed like a good waypoint. And because I've got multiplayer on, I do kind of want to avoid getting in people's ways to a certain extent. So we'll be nice and low under there and staying out of people's way if they're on the ILS. And then up to Duxford. So nice little flight. Should be interesting. And we'll see how it goes. Sparky, professionals have all the information on it, mate. You should know that by now. There's no point coming in here telling me I need to unclutter it. Right, let's go back to stream. There we go. I remember to do it. That's a miracle in itself. I have this habit of forgetting that I've put it onto map, and then people are just staring at the map. Right, let's start doing some pilot stuff. So that's there. Just set up the head tracking. That's all good. We have got the canopy open. While I remember, I need to unhide the pilot because we want to see the pilot. Do we not? Okay, that's all good. Right, I've got a checklist in front of me here on a PDF on a iPad because I just find that a bit better than trying to whack it up here on the tablet. It kind of gets in the way. Quick look at the chat. Hello everybody, A320, good to have you along. Felix, good to have you along. Virtual Skies, hello. And have I missed anyone? And Sparky, of course Sparky, good to have you here, mate. Okay, so looking at the checklist, cowl flaps fully open, throttle, it's at this point where you realise you've got the wrong glasses on. Throttle cracked, mixture is auto lean, supercharger neutral, that doesn't do anything in this. Battery, he remembered where it was, goes on, get the click spot. Fuel selector right main, come on, there you go. Now if I remember rightly, yeah, I need to remember the so it's that way to go that way and that way to go that way. I'm just telling my mouse wheel the right way because it can be a bit embarrassing otherwise. Right, okay, where did we get to there? So done that. Fuel pump, if I remember, is there. And there we go. We've got fuel flow. Fuel flow is 8 psi. It's 8 psi. Amazing. Primer 3 to 5 seconds. We'll go 5. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All good. And fuel pressure we've done. Primer we've done. Ignition onto both. Right, let's just rewind a little bit. Okay, there's nothing there about prop. Nothing there about prop. Okay, so I'm going to put prop fully forward because that seems to be, that feels like the right thing to do. And I got there, I got the ignition onto both. There it is. And then starter, and then once she fires, we then go to auto rich on the mixture. So let's go. That's all good. Just be careful with the RPM while we're warming up. There we go. Just on 1,000. Right, we can close that. Let's get the radio on. Get some lights on. Why the hell not? Pitot is on. That's fine. That's all good. Cowl flaps are open and we can see that they've opened there, so that's nice. That's good. Quick check down there. I'm just trying to remember now. Oil pressure's good. And oil temperature is definitely above the 40 now, so that's all good. By gum, I think we're ready to go. Okay, so quick look at checklist. For taxiing, cowl flaps fully open. We've got tail wheel unlocked, which it is. Lights, we've done that. RPM for taxi low and steady preferred. Just reading ahead. Yeah, okay, that's all good. And for takeoff, we're going to be using runway 25. Quick check of the chat. Virtual skies today was good for crosswind landings. Yeah, I think this is going to be interesting. I think this is going to be interesting because, as I was saying at the start, I've not got much experience recently in the Hellcat, and it is a little bit gusty today, and we are going to have a bit of a crosswind component, so this could be spicy. This is, for anyone that's interested, this is LN Design Blackbushe, and it's really cool. He's updated it recently, so it's got the Blackbushe Heritage hangar just over. You can't quite see it here, but it is quite marvellous, quite wonderful. Right, quick check of the chat. My new Whirlpool stick and rotor TSS has changed my experience. Very glad I got them for Hellcat. I've got a couple of cheap walks in the cells. Yeah, the Whirlpool rotor TCS is amazing. It really is. It really is one of the best bits of kit I ever bought. And I'm flying Warbirds tonight because I've been flying helicopters so much, and I know people are saying, when are you going to fly some Warbirds again? So we're in the Warbirds. While I can still type, I'll just pop the link to the Discord in there. Okay, let's get going. See if I can remember how to the realistic taxiing in this. Let's have a look. So I've got to try and pirouette on the spot. Try not to hit that biz jet. There we go. Love the sound. And this is where head tracking comes in handy. So we can look out the window. There's the Pathfinder and everything. Quite a narrow taxiway here, so it's not like you've got a huge amount of room even to do S-turns, but it's quite we can still get a reasonable view. And I am aware that I'm on multiplayer, so again, I don't want to ruin anyone's flight. There was someone here just as I was setting up the flight. There was someone taking off, and they looked like they knew what they were doing, that's for sure. Something that I am aware of in this oh, don't you dare stutter. This scenery is still being worked on a little bit, so we will find at the end of this... do you know what I just realised? I talk about confirmation bias. We're taking off the other way. I got so distracted because I wanted to go past the Pathfinder Cafe that... I've gone the wrong way. That's alright, you wanted a tour of the airfield anyway, didn't you? It's a lovely evening. What better than to go for a little stroll in a Hellcat round Blackbushe Airport? That's my excuse anyway, and I'm sticking to it. How's the sound, guys, by the way? I've had, with the helicopters recently, a couple of instances where the engine sound was can't even say it, drowning out the microphone. But how is it tonight? Is it alright? Looking at the levels, it should be. But I would be interested to know. Right, there's a bit of a one-way system here at Blackbushe, so we have to observe that. Don't want to cause any problems. Fuel truck sticking out. So we'll just keep over to this side a bit. Don't want to prang into him. Can't park there, mate. There we go. Now we're back on track. Cheers, A320. Much appreciated, mate. So we'll get up here. And because it is live, I am not going to go onto the runway, but we're not really going to truly be able to get into wind to do the run up. So I'm just going to twang it round a little bit. Oh well, actually that worked quite well. I wasn't expecting it to twang round so much, but there you go. Right, run up check. Wings spread and locked. There is. Engine rev to clear. Cowl flaps half open. Oil shutter. Oil cooler shutter fully open. Intercooler shutters closed. Wow, now I'm confused. Intercooler shutters, I haven't got a clue, but I'm not going to mess about. Propeller full increase. Ah, okay, so maybe that's maybe, okay. Mixture is auto rich. Fuel selector is right main. Carburetor protected air is full in. I can't remember where that is. Yeah, I can't remember where the... Okay, that's a bit embarrassing. Fuel pressure is 16 to 18. It most certainly is. And the cabin hood is fully open. Get that out of the way. Rudder tab, 2 marks right. Come here. Where is it? There we go, 2 marks right, and elevator tab neutral aileron. Good, so we're there. Wow, we've managed to spin round without me even noticing it. Very good. Pirouette it round again. Sorry, A320, just saw your message. I'm using the Bravo. I need to set up my Authenticate Spitfire stuff. But I'm using the Bravo. Falconer, hello. Sweden, lovely country. Andy, good to see you, mate. Right, yeah, you forget the steering in this is quite sporty. Okay. Steering is very sporty. There we go. Right, takeoff checks, wing flaps, not going to use them. Tail wheel is going to locked. Throttle, yep. Takeoff, yep. That's fine. Trim, yep. Okay, blah-de-blah, blah, blah. All good. Okay, let's go. I hope you've signed the insurance waiver. I always say that, but I really do mean it. Especially on this one. There are 2 points where it pauses in this scenery. Like a glitch, like a stutter. Okay, let's... that's what you call a crash. Now that's interesting. She did not want to lift at all. Ah! Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? It is 101 checks. 101 checks. And it's sod's law, and I say it every time in the sim. Things happen when I live stream. And what happened there, I tested everything before I went live. I tested everything, tested my controls, and everything was working. And my stick is not working now. So that's why we crashed, because I was steering down the runway using the rudder and thinking, I'll be honest with you people, I was thinking to myself, this is going a lot better than I thought it would. And tail came up quite nicely, and I'm thinking, very nice. That's nice and smooth. Interesting. And then all of a sudden, I'm pulling back on the stick. We ain't going nowhere. We are not going anywhere. And I can see, so pedals are good, that's all good. Whole stick, doing nothing. Okay, so let's have a look at that. Controls. I have to say, and it does frustrate me a little bit. In this, in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, it does some weird things with controls. And I'm kind of hoping that this is just a simple, it's glitched, rather than my stick is actually, yeah. It's, and this is frustrating. Having to wait while it catches up. Hey Shadook, how you doing? So for the purposes of not keeping you waiting, I'm going to I'm not going to mess about. I'm just going to start her up and we can get going. You don't want to sit through a whole checklist again. I know you're serious about your flying, chaps, but even I am not going to inflict that on you. So we're going to go for the fastest start we possibly can. Right, let's have a look at that. Resume. But, there we go. I mean this sincerely. I know I muck about a bit, but I mean this sincerely. This is why you should always... I went through a bleeding checklist, didn't I? At what point did I do a controls check? A basic thing you're meant to do. I didn't do one. If I'd done one, I would have realised I got an issue. Absolute spanner. Okay. Right, so blah 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 blah. If anyone wants to sing a song while we're waiting for the idiot streamer to... I don't even like calling myself a streamer. I'm not a streamer. I'm just someone who likes flight sims and likes to humiliate himself in public. Right, battery on. That's so good. Fuel pump on. Have we got fuel flow? Yes, we have. Everything's tickety-boo. We'll put that back there. Cowl flaps are open. That's all good. Everything fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And start. Oh, okay. Checklists again. Checklists. So you rush a start, and what happens? You forget to put the mags on. I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed in myself. Yes, Andy. I need the random and anywhere, because this flight is certainly turning into random and, well, random pilot. Okay, on y va. How's our temperatures? Temperatures are good. Let's get going. Stick is active. It's so true though. I mean, if ever you needed an example of why checklists are required, there you go. Okay. Come back. Where on earth are you going? Right, that's there. Put that there. Put that there. That's there. Sparky, I just saw your thing. Ooh, just get that cord out of the way. Right, this is a nice chilled out evening flight. Quick check, because it is on live. As I said before, I'm on Western Europe if anyone wants to come along. Let's drive down here. Okay. There we go. Let's lock the tail wheel. That's all good. Close that. Pitot on. Radio on. This is breaking all sorts of CAA rules. That's all good. Flap is up. Okay, let's go. Couple of nasty stutters there. Threw it a bit. So, do you know what? It's amazing how easy it is to fly an aeroplane when you've actually got a stick. That's a top tip. Top tip for anyone who's thinking of getting into flight sim. Always fly using controls. It makes life so much easier. There's Blackbushe. Okay, quick check of that. Let's have a look at our map. Wind it out just a little bit. So I don't want to go too high, as I say. I mean, we're not on air traffic control or anything like that, but there are people who are flying tube liners and that sort of thing in multiplayer, and I don't want to ruin their day. Love that handprint on there. That's the last engineer that tried to clamber on board to warn me that I hadn't got my stick connected. What an idiot. Exactly, A320. Coming from you, that gives me a sense of, I don't know, sense of comfort. Okay, let's just... Whoa, I wonder if this will work. I can't remember if I've got it set up. No. This is why I need to get my authenticate controls set up so I can change rudder trim without having to do that. So we're just coming up over East Hampstead and Bracknell for anyone who wants to do some Berkshire spotting. Just coming back on course after prattling about. There's Heathrow over there. Certainly don't want to get in the way of anyone trying to land at Heathrow. Right, let's have a quick look. Just check my power settings. 220/37. 220. That'll do. And mixture lean. I don't like the sound of that. I put the mixture to auto lean. Hang on, let's have a look. There we go. That's auto lean. Went back a little bit too far. That things got a little bit sporty then. Right, here's White Waltham coming up. So this is Burning Blue Design White Waltham. Where are we with wind? 21, so we can use runway 21. Just have a quick look. Getting some of these stutters at the moment, or kind of pauses. There's 21. So, as I say, we're going to do a touch and go, or a touch and get the hell out of here, in my case. So we'll come back on the power. Prop fully forward, we'll have mixture rich. Gear down, a few pauses coming in there, more stutters. And the great thing about this one, of course, it's got the flaps that you just you dangle and forget, which was designed to presumably help naval aviators not have to worry about messing about with flaps when they're trying to concentrate on landing on a carrier. So this is us doing our carrier landing. Nice curved approach. Would have been good. However, you've got me flying, so this is what on earth was that hiss? And we're down. So we're not going to bump. We're going to get control again. That's it. We're going to raise the flappage. We're going to lift, gear up. Blimey. Blimey O'Reilly. It's a very interesting plane to fly, the Hellcat, especially after the Spit. It is a different animal. That's for sure. Okay, let's go and have a look at Windsor Castle. Are you seeing it as well, Andy? It's weird. And it's just a pain in the neck. It really is. I mean, I've got such everything is so nice and smooth. My frame rates are really good. I've got, you know, 900 plus megabyte per second internet, download and upload, all this kind of stuff. But every now and again, you just get those kind of stutter. Oh, hello. Well, it's still going. I thought the sim was going to crash then, but it's still going. So we're coming up on the castle. There's the castle. Let's quick check of the fuel. Must remember to switch tanks in this one. There's the castle. And on we go. Let's go to the studio. There's Heathrow. I don't think we've got in anyone's way. Keep it low, and then hopefully that'll minimize that. Sun's getting quite low now. I actually might have to wind the wind it out a little bit so that we can actually see the ground, because this is meant to be a little bit sightseeing. Certainly, it's a lot lighter in the real world than it is in the sim world. That's for sure. Right, here's the film studios. That's Pinewood Studios. Got any jobs? M25 there. Lovely, lovely feature of the UK. I don't know if you are from another country, but you may not be aware. But the M25 is such a lovely motorway. People like to just visit it on at the weekend. It's an absolute bleeding hellhole. Right, denim, and I can't remember now if I've got it loaded in, but this, if I have, it will be the burning blue design denim, and I think by the looks of it, yeah, I've got it loaded in. There it is. It's a lovely little airfield, that. Beautiful. Another little gem from burning blue design. There's a nice gravel pit for all the gravel pit spotters. How are we looking with the light? Not too bad. It's just coming through that cloud, which is stopping it. So on to Nebworth. See the stuttering again. I'm trying to think of things that could be causing it. It's obviously when something loads in. I'd noticed before that it sometimes, if you look at the network performance, the stutters coincide with a spike in that. And as I say, I've got something like 900 plus megabyte per second or megabits per second connection, so that my internet speed shouldn't cause a problem. That is the there we go, that's the Warner Brothers place. I think there's is there a Harry Potter tour there if you're into wizards? But yeah, not much to see there really, is there? Did wonder if there might be something a little bit more wizards. Sorry. Tell you what I am gonna do. Bring it back to auto rich there. There's another one. And another one. Whoa! Where did that come from? I wonder if he's coming into Luton. Okay, I need to I probably need to get out of the way of the airliners. What do you think? Hey Northwood, the stutters are definitely worse when I'm streaming. Well, do you know what? I say that. I don't know. I mean, it comes and goes in different scenarios, but yeah. Oh, there we go. Did it again. Okay, I'm going to try an experiment. Let's just trim her out a bit. Okay. Hopefully this isn't going to kill the sim. Just going to do an experiment. Right, there we go. You can still see everything, can't you? Okay. Let's check. Oh, there we go. Big spike. Yeah, it's the network. Wow. Okay, this is interesting. I wonder if I need to clear my cache. I wonder if that's what it is. How much RAM do you have? 64. I've got 64 gigabyte RAM, and then I've got a 590 GPU with whatever that's got on it. My GPU and my CPU are laying back sipping a cocktail, but I tell you what, it's the internet. The internet's fast, but it's downloading a lot. Right, there was another one. Okay. Theory not proven. That didn't coincide with a spike. God, this is so boring for you to watch, isn't it? Me going on about no, I stand corrected. That was a spike. Okay. How interesting. How interesting. Sorry, catching up in the chat. A320. I don't know, mate. I think it depends what you're into. My personal favourite is the Spitfire, but then I'm biased. And then for me, after the Spitfire, probably the Hellcat. But some people love the rawness and the challenge of the 190 as well. And of course the the 109. And then you've got the FW 190, which is a good one. But the Spitfire is always my favourite. There you go, another one there. Right, let's see if that coincided. Not so much, okay. Not so much. Only cleared my rolling cache the other day. And it was okay. I've got something like 150 gigabyte rolling cache. It's ridiculous. But I know that can sometimes do it. Something I am noticing, there's a lot more people flying tonight online. Northwood, yes, it does. They are doing a new. They're going to do a native version for 2024, but it works fine for me. I love it. So it's all nice and smooth now. And it is very, I've got to say, tonight is probably the worst I've seen it. I was doing a lot of flying this morning. I did about an hour doing touch and goes in an aircraft. No problems at all. It was really nice and smooth. But for some reason tonight, and now it's fine. I mean, I can... Now it's absolutely fine. It's just every now and again you get that 1 second, 2 second. I'm trying to force it to do it now and it won't. There was a little one. Okay, let's, I'm just going to take off the, there we go. So there is beautiful Duxford. Gorgeous. Should have checked actually, is anyone active? So we've got 2 on the ground. Okay, I just don't want to be that guy and suddenly come bowling in when someone's trying to take off. That's why I need to turn off the traffic at airports, because there is nothing worse than coming into Duxford and seeing business jets parked up on the grass. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating a bit, but you know what I mean. It's not really what you want to see. Okay, let's come back on there. That's all good. Fuel pump on. Dangle the gear. I'm going to take the grass runway, but it's kind of hard to see it in this light, but feels like the right thing to do. Let's engage the good old Navy flaps. So this, I guess, is probably a little bit more like a deck landing, coming in high and not quite a nice curved warbird approach, but we can still see it. Should have the cowl flaps open. Silly boy. Can't really see the runway markings. Quick check of the speed. Some interesting hydraulic sounds there. I don't know if that's 2024 playing up. Hello? Engine sounds are dying. I think this is 2024 doing silly things. Can you? I mean, can you hear it? Of course, you can hear it. It's doing some funny things to the sound. Maybe. There we go. Someone's up. There's a classic warbird there. The famous Airbus from the latter stages of World War II. Just waiting for someone to jump in the chat and say it's not an Airbus. I haven't got a clue, to be honest with you. Haven't got a clue. I suddenly have an urge to take the Spitfire up. The stutters with the sounds. No, Sparky, it's on also Rich, mate. There you go. Okay. What's the time? I'm feeling a quick spit flight. Who have we got? Jungly. Was that the same jungle that was in the chat just before? Okay. Yeah. Let's take the Spitfire up. Yeah, I think that might just be the sounds in 2024, mate. It was definitely on full rich. And the fuel pump was on as well. Where is the Spitfire? There it is. In the meantime, we'll have the soothing sounds. There she is, Gilda. And we will start here. And cool. John, that's really interesting you say that. Yeah, it's multiplayer definitely does some weird things. And I don't know if it's model matching or something like that, but the other day we were doing some helicopter flying and I was getting, all of a sudden it wasn't so much stutters, the frame rate just plummeted down. And I switched off multiplayer. Oh, hang on a minute. I did two things. I turned off multiplayer and also I changed to the Northern Europe server. And that made a big difference. And I've just realised I'm on the Western Europe server. So why don't we do a little experiment? Why don't we do a little experiment? First of all, we're going to get rid of that bloody ugly slip tank. And let's switch to the Northern Europe server. There we go. Makes me feel all Scandinavian. I'm a big fan of Scandinavians. Okay, right, quick look. Yes, yes, stick connected. That's all good. I really do need my authenticate stuff for this. It seems almost sacrilege flying it without it. Okay, so prop fully forward, mixture to rich, crack the throttle. That's all fine. Let's have the fuel on. We've got the low warning. One of the things at the moment with the Spit in 2024 is you don't get the animation of the wobble pump. So I'm literally just clicking it. It's not animating. There you go. But the low pressure has gone out. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Both mags on. Clear prop, said in a commanding way. Not. Oh, there you go. There you go. Let's get some nose down trim. There we go. That's all good. Brilliant. Okay, so we are now on Northern Europe server, so I'll be interested to see what it does. Quick catch up with the chat. My FPS plummeted when I finally made contact with Tuto Murphy and his group the other night, and then the PC would crash. Okay, yeah, it's really... multiplayer definitely needs something doing to it, I think, at the moment. Thought you would have the P38 in the garage. Didn't mean to crash. I do actually have the P38. I do have the P38 loaded in, but as we seem to be finding, so the other day we had a helicopter stream, and there were 2 people there in helicopters that I have got. 3 people in helicopters that I've got. None of them were showing in the right helicopter. They were all in like default bonanzas and that sort of thing. So hang on a minute, I just had a thought. I just had a thought. I wonder if I turn air traffic up to medium. I'm going to turn traffic airport quality down to get the hell out of here, because then that gets rid of the biz jets on the grass. But if I turn that up to medium, high, ultra, let's put it to high. See if that makes a difference. Right, we're in a Spitfire. Stop messing about on the ground and get going. Right, let's have fuel pump on and radiator flap open. Right. Let's just come to a halt there. Oh, and I've got TAA on, I'm not using DLSS. Okay, where is... Don't want to get in the way of that Spit if he's going to try and land. Are you landing, Jungly? I just realised it's probably you, isn't it? If you are landing, I'll keep out your way. If you're not, I'll head onto the grass and take off. How interesting. Now that I've moved over to Northern Europe server, the internet traffic has dropped off quite considerably. I mean, incredibly. It's like you wouldn't believe it. Thank you, mate. That's interesting. The temperature's getting a little bit sticky. Can I have my... Not a good time for the head tracking to fail. Can we have head tracking back, please? Head tracking back in the building, please. I swear to God. Head tracking's working up there, so let's try something. Honestly, it's so much easier just to play Fortnite, probably, isn't it? Why on earth do we torture ourselves by having a hobby that requires you to constantly fiddle with things and try and get things working again? There we go. I just had to recycle or cycle the open track and we're good. Right, where the hell is this? There it is. There it is. There it is. One thing also with 2024 is the grass runway at Duxford is quite hard to spot. Okay, on y va. Oh, I can feel the wind a bit. I'm to use a fair amount of stick. Gear up. Let's calm everything down. I'm not Nathan, I'm not, but stand by. Why is the click spot for that gone? If I do that, okay. Trying to figure out why the there we go. The canopy wasn't closing for some reason. Oh, northward, Central Dave. The A2A Spitfire was brilliant. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, this is the Mark 9. So the Mark 9 will still overheat. It's got nice things like an automatic radiator and that sort of thing, but it'll still overheat if you're not careful. But it's got better radiators than the Mark 1 had, but it's got a bigger engine, so you get it. Sorry, Nathan, I was going to say no. I don't play Fortnite, but my kids used to, and I was absolutely crap at it because I love a first-person shooter, but I can't do it with a controller. I'm very much a keyboard and mouse person. But the reason why I mention it is because it just works, whereas Flight Sim seems to be this constant battle of fiddling with settings and trying to get things to work, and there you go. Now, I tell you what, first thing I'm noticing is it is much smoother. I'm not getting the stutters that I was before. I'm not getting those weird pauses. The internet, the download volume is lower. So I think it's server side. I'm just waiting for it to do one of those nasty pauses now, and it's not. See, it's all nice and you're seeing a little bit of jerking, but that's more to do with the head tracking. I mean, look at that elliptical wing. That's what it's about. A320, if you're still here, you're asking about warbirds. That's what it's about. Oh. I was once on a plane flight. I've said this before in videos, so bear with me if you've heard it before. I was once on a plane flight with a lovely lady who was incredibly wealthy. She was retired and her husband was retired. And I mean, huge amounts of wealth. And we were just having a conversation, and my wife happened to say to her that I loved warbirds. I was really into flying, and she said that her husband was a warbird fan as well. And then my wife explained to her how I fly Spitfires in the simulator. And this woman kind of leant forward in her seat, because she was sitting on the other side of my wife. She leant forward in the seat and looked at me and she said, "But why don't you fly Spitfires for real instead of on your computer?" And I kind of looked at her and I said, "Well, I've done it once, but it's about £2,500 a go. And it makes it rather expensive." And I think she kind of understood. I think she understood. But to be able to fly a Spitfire in the simulator at Duxford on a summer's evening with a sunset like that, it's just, this is what it's about. This is what it's about. A little bit of a stutter there, but we'll forgive that. That is nothing compared to what we were seeing before. Do you know, I think I'm just going to avoid the Western Europe server for a while. It seems to be Northern Europe just seems to give such better performance. It's bizarre. Right. This is where we need some nice music. Okay. Right, quick check of the winds. So yeah, that's all good. So we'll come back round. Yeah, you're right, John. It is much smoother. Can you fly, Harry? Can you fly the Hurricane next, please? I've got to be honest with you, Harry. I have got the Hurricane. Okay, Harry, we get the message, mate. We get the message. I have got the Hurricane, but I didn't really enjoy it, if I'm honest. It didn't feel... it didn't feel yeah, it doesn't feel as tight as the Spitfire, and I'm not talking Hurricane versus Spitfire or anything like that. I'm talking about in the simulator. There's a reason why the RAF used the Spitfire, this FlyingIron Spitfire, in their own simulator up at Coningsby. Ah, I've got a lightning. Okay, so I think that was it. The reason why I wasn't seeing the lightning before was because I had the wrong settings on. And the reason why I changed it was because I vaguely remember someone saying that if you've got your air traffic settings set too low, you won't necessarily see all your models. So that's another thing fixed. Isn't Duxford looking glorious this evening? Okay, let's bring her in. Ah, did he, Harry? Fantastic. I saw the BBMF Lancaster today, and it was at the Blackbushe Air Day, and they did two flyovers, and do you know what was incredible was the number of people that stood up and just watched. And I think it's lovely that people obviously still have an immense amount of respect and love for these old girls. Right, gear down. Yeah, lovely evening. Let's have some flappage, and again, like I was saying before, it's in 2024 it's very difficult to see the grass runway for some reason. There it is. We've got a bit of an FPS drop there. I'm wondering if that's multiplayer. I'll have a look when we get on the ground. I wonder if someone else has loaded in. See, the FPS has really dropped. Bouncy, bouncy tonight. Okay, let's have the flap up. Okay, okay. I wonder if it was that jet. Mind you, it's smoother now, isn't it? Forgot to open the canopy in case we needed to jump out, get some fresh air. This room is pretty much at air fryer levels now, so I'm going to be crawling out of it in a second. Let's just watch where you're going, sunshine. Go all the way to the end and we can park outside Arco, have a look at the Spits and Hurricanes, courtesy of Mick. Well, that's interesting. My rudder is suddenly quite savage. Or rather, the toe brakes are. Notice that in the oh, there go the FPS again. Okay, that's that. It's the jet, isn't it? Where's the? Yeah, it's the jet. Probably another one of those model matching things with the P38 and whatever that was, Hellzone. That was okay, but I think it's when the jet came in it all went a bit awry. Right, okay, so let's have the parking brake on. Let's whack open that for a second. Quick check of that. Let's clear the engine a bit. There we go. All good. Switch that off. Can't see it, but there it is. Okay, we're down. We are safe. Remember with which click spot is which. There we go. That one and then that one. There we go. Now we can lean out and look heroic. Not quite. Right, I'm going to quick look at the chat here and catch up. Yeah, FSX2. Yeah, I think it is that jet. FSX to 2024. You'll be absolutely amazed. Someone's trying to nick me Spitfire. Yeah, you'll be absolutely amazed at how good it is. Look at that. Beautiful. It really is a step forward, but I think you have to also. I was saying the other night, coming from 2020, when I bought 2024, I didn't necessarily expect it to be 100% straight out of the box, as it were. I kind of figured that there were going to be things that needed sorting out, and that's definitely what we're seeing here. You're right. We're seeing the odd bits and pieces. That was nice. That was nice. Let me kill the. Let's take the labels off. Kills the immersion a bit, doesn't it? Yeah. It. There's the lightning. You just have to get used to some of the weird things it's going to do, but it is getting there and it is improving, and I'm interested to see what SU3 does. SU2 did improve it, and I think it, like I say, the problems that we were having before, as the other day, are probably just down to the Western Europe server. You know, it's kind of what it feels like. As soon as I switched to Northern, it was all right. Harry, you want to turn around, mate? You're missing the flyover. Beautiful. Do you know, and it's nice to see Duxford busy in 2024. Whenever I come here, it always seems to be quite quiet, whereas 2020 is good. But that's a nice little tail chase going on up there. Well done, lads. Whoever you are. There's that jet again. Right. I think you've been patient enough. It's been fantastic having you along on the stream. Thanks ever so much for watching. it's a nice way to finish with this air display at Duxford. God, don't you just want to get a cold beer and sit on the grass and watch all this? Blimey. Anyway, it's a flight sim. Let's not get carried away. I'm getting carried away. Yeah. It's been great having you along. There goes the Spit. His door's open because my door's open. That's why you can see that. Yeah, great having you along. I look forward to seeing you on the channel again soon. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves. And just while I quickly remember, because someone did say, am I going to be doing a HeliMed stream this week? Probably not. Probably not. I've got a bit of a busy week this week, but maybe soon. Maybe soon. Definitely, because they are great fun. In case you don't know, I was about to say goodbye and I'm still bloody waffling, aren't I? In case you don't know, a lot of the streams I do are flying HEMS, HeliMed, helicopter stuff in the H145. So if you're into that, then come along. But I'm going to be doing a lot more Warbirdie stuff as well. There's a clever chap. Look, he's levitating above the nose. That really is clever. But I've just put a link to the Discord down below, so come along and say hello, and I'll see you there. And Ian, who I saw today at Blackbushe, if you watch this, thank you ever so much for coming over. It was an absolute pleasure to meet you, sir. Absolute pleasure to meet you. And right, I'm going now. Harry, what you done? What you done? I have done that before. You just wanted to... I know what you're doing. You're showing off the graceful shape of the tail, aren't you? Planting it up in the air where the sun can glint off its delicate curves. Well done, lad. Well done. Anyway, I really am going now. Thanks ever so much for joining the stream, and thanks to the guys that flew along. And we're going to end with this flyby. Take care now. Bye-bye.